Hello and thanks for joining us. Still in Rwanda, and today I have the singular pleasure of coming home. I'm at the Nigerian Embassy, where I'm going to have a conversation with Ambassador Ibrahim Zana, the Acting High Commissioner of Nigeria to Rwanda. Your Excellency, glad to be here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and welcome to the High Commission.
Thank you. Nigeria and Rwanda, we've had a robust relationship. Tell me how this relationship is going. And if it won't be too much trouble, take me back to where it all started and how we have collaborated as two African countries.
Well, thank you, and say greetings from Rwanda to your viewers. And Nigeria and Rwanda have enjoyed a very long and cordial bilateral relations. However, in terms of physical presence, the two countries established presence missions here. Nigeria established a mission with a substantive ambassador, High Commissioner, in 2012, whereas Rwanda also established their mission in Abuja with a High Commissioner in 2011. And since then, also the two missions, they have become the vehicles whereby we have continued to strengthen our bilateral relationship along several areas, both within the international arena and bilaterally also. In terms of strong substantive relationship, Nigeria and Rwanda also signed what we call the Joint Ministerial Partnership Commission in 2021. The then Minister of State was here, and it was signed under that cooperation platform. All other political arrangements in terms of consultations, agreements, discussions are being done. And we have so far had some agreements signed, like fully implemented the BASA agreement with Rwanda Air going directly to Nigeria. And then, notably, recently in June, Nigeria and Rwanda signed the double taxation avoidance agreement. The Rwanda Minister of Foreign Affairs was in Nigeria, and they signed the agreement on the margins of the AFREXIM annual general meeting that was held in Nigeria. This is one of significant agreements in terms of bilateral relations, because it fosters trade and investment. And that is what I believe also right now is the focus of Africa, intra-African trade, in line with the AU's 2063 agenda.
Great. One area that Nigeria has really been present in Rwanda is supporting Rwanda technically. Our TAC, the technical core, has been operational in Rwanda for a couple of years. How has this helped in supporting the growth of Rwanda, and how has it also improved on the relationship that the two countries share?
Oh, fantastic, actually. The truth, it's one core also area that not only Rwanda, the Nigerian Technical Aid Corps, which is a parastatal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, driven by NTAC, has been for over 30 years a vehicle through which Nigeria has supported in capacity building areas in almost in several countries in Africa, as Caribbean and the Pacifics. And Rwanda itself is not left out. Currently, Nigeria has a total of 28 PhD holders and professors in lecturing and building capacity in 3 universities in Rwanda, paid for by the Nigerian government. Before I came in January, we had 10, and they requested for more. We got 6. Still requested for more. We brought in 12. They're still requesting for more. That shows appreciation to what that tells you the level of impact that the program is doing in terms of capacity building. And it's not at the level of just teaching, but we're talking about PhD holders and professors who are helping in developing faculties, postgraduate faculties, filling the gaps in terms of the deficiency that's there, and it's well appreciated by the people, and the government and the people of the country. That's what we have been doing. Then in addition also, the education sector is one area where, in terms of in our relationship, Nigeria has done so well, and it continues to do so in helping building capacity in Rwanda. We also have Nigerian expatriates, academicians who also, outside the technical aid program, are being employed by several universities. Notable among them, like for instance, University of Kigali has 2 deputy vice chancellors, vice chancellor academic and vice chancellor admin, Nigerians. One of them, Professor Adiola Ogechi, who even recently, about a month ago, was among those that were awarded as the top scientists in the world. And it's all over, and it was celebrated. That's the level of impact that we are doing here. We also have the Vice Chancellor of Protestant University, who is also a Nigerian. Then we have the Dean of the Graduate School in the ALU, that's the Leadership University here. So, and a host of others within the academic sector alone. In terms of building capacity, Nigeria is doing very well, in addition to other areas. When you also come in the area of ICT, area of in the financial sector, right one is also an area that is very strong in our relationships, where we have 2 Nigerian banks doing very well here, the Access Bank and GT Bank. Yeah, in fact, Access Bank was here before the embassy.
Oh.
So I jokingly refer to them as our senior diplomat. In terms of presence of Nigeria, they were here even before the embassy. And that shows how strong the relationship, if the climate is not good, and also shows how welcoming Rwanda is for them to come, thrive. Others are coming, and more are also planning to come in. Then in area of also other forms of businesses. When you're talking about that, Nigerians are also doing very well here. In the real estate sector, we are beginning to see considerable Nigerian investment, and notable among them is even the famous Zaria Court here, which Masai Ujiri was part of. It's one of the biggest establishment here. It's a $24 million project, which the president himself was at the commissioning of the project. Dangote was also here for the commissioning of the project. And the environment itself also has helped, because you must also give credit to the Rwandan government in terms of how they have opened up and made ease of doing business. With the one-stop shop, the RDB, where you can register a company online without being present in 24 hours and get your certificate. That has made it a lot easier. Secondly, also, they have made 30-day, given a visa waiver to all African passport holders, including Nigeria. 30 days, you're allowed to come visa-free, explore. If you see opportunities, then you can now register and change your status and so on. So that also has helped. And I must commend also that the Nigerian community here, those that are doing very well, extremely well. That's the truth. They are doing extremely well in all areas, academic, businesses, and even in the hospitality industry. We have like almost now 5 Nigerian restaurants, from the famous Jollof Kigali, who has been doing so well in this country, contributing even to development. And the Nigerian community also have, in their own little way, been doing a lot in terms of community support.
Excellency, this is heartwarming, because when I travel, one of the stories you hear is about the negativity of Nigerians in foreign countries. I mean, a good number of them are, involved in very negative business. But it looks like the story is different in Rwanda. Is it something the embassy is doing? Or is it the environment?
No, truly, actually, the story is different here. That's the truth. And it's a combination of all. In terms of, one, the country itself, while they open up, but they don't give any room for such things. When even in most places, when you said quite a number of them are involved in negativity, no, I don't believe so. Even in other areas. Yes, there are a few. But we always tend to trump up the negative and not talk about the positives. So the few irritants are the ones that just spoil everything. But that doesn't mean that everywhere you go, the truth of the matter, my brother, is the strength of Nigeria lies in its people. You can't take that away from us. We are very hardworking, resilient, entrepreneurial, resourceful people. Everywhere you go, you have Nigerians adding value to where they are. It's just like every other society, country, you also have some few negative ones. In those places that you are saying Nigerians are having this negative, they don't do it by themselves. It's where you have local collaborators. Crime and antisocial behavior thrives where there are and where an environment accommodates it. Mm-hmm. So eventually when it comes, it is the foreigner that is always, no father will say his son. You always say it is the neighbor's son that spoiled his child. Yeah. Isn't it? That is what is happening. But then again here, for instance, when me and my team came this year, took over early, in January actually, the first thing that I asked is, okay, what do we have as a means of public communication? I said, no, we cannot operate without that. So the first thing that we did was, after meeting with the executives of the Nigerian community, say, okay, I need an avenue that we can be interfacing. And in this era, nobody will leave his job to come. So let's have some. So we set up platforms, X, Netflix, Facebook, and also reactivated the website. Then I also set up the digital registration with the slogan, "Help us to know you better." So let Nigerians register so that I know how many you are, what you are doing, and that's how we started.
And Nigerians responding?
Yes.
Positive?
Yes, very well. We made ourselves available. We have an instruction. We have our numbers with the security man, including mine. No Nigerian is turned back, even if it's on a weekend. It's not a matter of whether we are closed or not. That, within no time, resonated, and they partnered with us. And then we use that platform to always speak to them. Yes, we also started having a few cases of Nigerians are coming using the free visa, and to explore, to see whether, like we say, make I try my luck. And then, so what we have done since I also came is using the community. Let's try and identify those ones that immediately don't have anything doing, because they are the ones that are more likely and to be pushed into doing something against the law out of desperation. So, and we started. And so far, I think about 6, we have the embassy will reach out and say, we'll bring you, what is it, you're not doing anything, come, we'll pay for your ticket.
To go home?
Go back home. Before even the authorities get to you.
So that's proactive.
That's how we have been doing. Then some will negotiate with the authorities because they have overstayed. If you have overstayed your 30 days, you also now have breaking the law. So we'll sit down and reach out and tell them that we once repatriating them. Can they give us a waiver? And they do. But we do that together with the community. We talk to them, we sensitize them, and for them to identify. So they give us feedback. Okay, they will whisper to us to read the back and say, this person is doing nothing. So I'll pick up the phone and call the person.
And so engage them.
Engage them.
Okay, Your Excellency, let's take a short break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.
So this whole thing is sounding very interesting, and to know that the embassy has been able to, develop a kind of relationship with Nigerians resident in this country is really heartwarming. So, how do you intend to ensure that this endures? That it won't be something that if you leave, if you complete your tenure and it won't continue? Are there structures you're putting in place that would even stand there when you're gone from Rwanda?
Oh yes, thank you. What we did is to strengthen the ANR. ANR is the umbrella body association of Nigerians in Rwanda. It was actually existing even before I came, but they are a little bit comatose. So bringing them close, and then also encouraging the prominent members of the community to be part of the ANR, to support the ANR, was one of the areas that we felt that would further strengthen that structure. that will continue to manage the affairs of Nigerians in Rwanda. Because of course, there is a rising number, traffic now. Because Rwanda is open, Rwanda is in the news, Rwanda is safe, Rwanda is stable, Rwanda is good to do business. So there was going to be more Nigerians coming. So there is a need, like you said, a very solid structure to continue to manage the affairs. So, and that is what we did by reaching out to the prominent members under the guidance and support of one distinguished Nigerian here that I have to say, who I fondly call our doyen as our head, is Professor Ozonia Ojil, who is the UN resident coordinator here. And it's a very proud Nigerian and who has tirelessly promoted Nigeria here. He's also highly respected by the Rwandan government and everybody. So it is through him that I use to reach out to all the other prominent Nigerians. And it is through him that I was able to get all of them on board because he's highly respected and he led the whole thing. And so we're strengthening the ANR to be able to now continue to manage. One good example was the recent independence anniversary celebration that we had here. Completely community driven. The prominent ones coordinated by Professor Ozonia, the others through the ANR, and then we all agreed that we're going to have a community driven celebration, not the embassy. And we all agreed that it should be under the umbrella of the ANR as one body. We have students, we have sociocultural groups, and all others, but everybody came under the ANR. And the ANR have their meetings here.
In the embassy?
I give them space here so that everybody will come. And that's how we came up with that. And then contributions from all, including Nigerian businesses, the banks and everything, went to the ANR. And then we had a very grandiose independence
Tell me
celebration.
about it.
It was fantastic, actually.
Tell me about
it. It was an evening where we had all the Nigerians here, both those in the private sector, those in the academia, the prominent ones in the international organizations led by Professor Ozonia. We also have some, like the Professor Dr. Adelakin, who is the country rep of UNFPA. We also have Fatih in UNDP. So we have Nigerians, and we also have Muyiwa, who is driving the cable cart project, which is the first of its kind in Africa, a private sector driven thing. So everybody was there. Then we also have one prominent Nigerian also that became the umbrella for that association too, that supported Bedrock, Mrs. Etel. She's the managing director of Braliwa. And incidentally, she's from Enugu. And then Braliwa is the biggest, it's just like equivalent of Nigeria's NBL. It's the biggest bottling company. They are the makers of Heineken and other local brews. And they are one of the largest employers of labor here. And it's a Nigerian that is heading the company as the managing director. And she also came, in addition to Access Bank, and the entire drinks at that event was given free from Braliwa. In return, it was the whole place was branded in their company.
Oh, great.
And that was good. And it was only product that was there, and it was there, and it was grandiose, and everybody had, the cultural event was nice. It gave the opportunity to bring all of Students, we have a rising number of students here now. Perhaps also because of the Nigerian lecturers. So its parents are beginning to find it comfortable, where also we have people that are watching
over their kids.
Over their kids. So students were there.
And also we've had an opportunity to present Nigeria to people from other countries.
No, we had all, not just, we had representatives of all the African communities. And then I personally also invited all the African ambassadors, the African group of ambassadors, and they were all there with me. So it was more of, instead of the usual diplomatic reception, where it was just celebration of Nigeria. And then Nigerians also invited their friends. It was an open event, held in a very big, what do you call this place? Kigali Conference. It's an exhibition center. So it's a big marquee, and it was open for all. So there was all friends of Nigeria, Rwandese, friends of Nigerians. And also one key thing that happened was the Nigerian community used that platform to present also kind of their own give back to the community.
The Rwandan
community, yes. So they identified some of the poorest community where there's this mandatory insurance that every citizen must pay. The name is Omo something. It's Omungo, something like that. It's an insurance that everyone must pay, health insurance. And some cannot afford it. So they identified 100 people that less privileged that, and then a check was presented to the representative of the community. At that event, myself, leaders of the community, Professor Ozonia, we presented that check to the community, and they were appreciative of that. That's their way of saying,
thank you.
Yeah? 300, yeah. Rwandan francs. So, and I was very impressed with that. As a head of mission, to see the community rising up, promoting Nigeria. And then in addition, they used the opportunity to also promote Nigerian culture. There were cultural dances. There was the Rwandan cultural dance. There was also some of the Nigerian ethnic groups. The Igbo group presented their own dances. Yorubas did their own dances within a very small community, but we had fun. But above all, we were able to showcase Nigeria. And then, coming to your question, that was a platform where we were able to bring all, both those in the formal sector, those in the business sector, the students, the prominent ones, and the struggling ones. And that's the way of trying to now, we want to continue in that line to ensure the ANR is strengthened and it continues, even long after we have gone, I hope.
So let's talk more about Nigeria and Rwanda. There's no doubt that Rwanda is fast becoming an example of what an intentional developing country should be. The indices are getting better, and the people are taking more responsibility. Are there things that have happened, especially how they have turned their misfortune into something that's very positive in their reconciliation, national unity quest, and movement? Is there something there that Nigeria as a country should learn from Rwanda?
Well, honestly speaking, you see, you must give credit to this country, given the history and how they were able to come out of it and build a nation from the genocide that happened in 1991. And like you used the word intentional. yes, they became intentional in their efforts to make sure that there are no divisions, and they never go back to that. One thing that I think here, that that strong patriotism, that strong sense of belief in Rwanda is what that is driving this change that you have seen. It's more like an indoctrination. A Rwandese is meant to believe in his country, right from school. One thing that they did was, they started by, I think, from primary school, secondary school, they decided that it will only be taught in Kinyarwanda, one language. So English and French was a subject. So in all public schools, that's how they started, post-genocide. One language, one people, one nation. Then they abolished the notion of tribe. You cannot identify with yourself as either Tutsi or Hutu. It's illegal, it's against the law. You can only identify as a Rwandese. So that is the core, as far as I'm concerned, that led to this. If you're talking about learning lessons, perhaps, and it's instilled from primary school. And you learn that language, even before you learn English or French. You write in that language, even before English. Everybody speaks the same language. Everybody is one people. And in that same way, they have been taught to believe in their country. And no matter the difficulty, their country is better than any other place.
Why is it difficult back home to do that?
Well, coming back to, you see, the thing is that it's a little bit different. Nigeria, we are nationalities that were brought together with strong culture that dates back pre the coming of the white man. And each nationality has a strong sense of history. We're talking about the Benin Kingdom, the Yoruba Kingdom. And that's why I want to style along the federalism. Right? All independent nationalities coming together. States are subnationals, just like the American style. I agree with you. One of the core issues we have back home is also the issue of patriotism, the belief in the country. But more than, there's nothing wrong with us identifying with our respective ethnic groups. But ultimately, allegiance to the country. I don't think there's no problem with that. But the problem we have is that it's making people not to be more patriotic. It's also failure on the part of government to some extent. People don't believe if they don't see change. But once we are outside, everybody believes in Nigeria. This difference is when we're back home.
Yeah.
Look at us here. The Nigerian community that I'm talking about, it's multi-ethnic. But they are identifying themselves as Nigerians. And we all come together as Nigerians.
And that's worrisome. And when I talk to someone like you who's been in diplomacy for a while and been in multiple countries, as individuals, we excel. As a corporate, there's a challenge.
Well, you see, for me, it's not, it's a phase.
You think that someday we're going to overcome that?
Every time we're improving. We're actually improving. There's one thing that we can't take away from us. we have the ability to always find a way to resolve our differences and find common grounds. We do. Others result in civil wars. The whole thing that has happened in Rwanda is just two tribes. So. The Hutu and the Tutsi. It's just two tribes who speak the same language, by the way. Do you understand? Unlike our own, that we are two different, the three of us are Nigerians here. Or we are four today in this mission. But each of us are different. We don't understand each other's language. That's how Nigeria is.
250 different languages.
But yet, we have always found common ground. We have also always found common ground. And I believe also the next generation of Nigerians, provided we get governance issue right, good governance, and so on, I think the rest will, the rest of the puzzle will just fit. It's all about, because for the average Nigerian, honestly, he doesn't care who. He provided he can sell his product, go to his farm, do his business, make a living, he doesn't care. The rest is you and I elites that are always fighting for the power.
Let's come back to Rwanda. I was talking to one prominent Rwandan, and she told me that Nigeria has always been there for Rwanda. And he took me back to the era of the genocide, that it was only the Nigerian representative, Gambari, Professor Gambari, who stood up, to tell the world that, look, there's a problem in Rwanda that is bordering on genocide, even against every other diplomat. So, how you're here, you're our representative here, how moving forward do we ensure that these close ties remain even closer and that it should be of a mutual benefit to the two nations?
No, that much I agree with you, honestly. It's even getting better and better. I earlier mentioned about even platforms for cooperations that we've signed the joint partnership agreements that have been signed, and then the people-to-people connection that is going on now, and businesses that are Rwandese also are going. We've had a group of Rwandan businessmen that have gone as a group to Lagos to meet with also businessmen under the Lagos Chambers of Commerce for them to also explore opportunities in Nigeria. So there is a lot of strengthening of relations between Nigeria and Rwanda, not only at the government level, but at the private sector level, the people-to-people connection. And I believe people-to-people connection is the one that is the most lasting. Even when, God forbid, there is a little problem between the two governments. But once the people ties are strong, it's difficult for the political rift to lead to anything. It's just like saying today, the connection between Nigeria and the UK. No matter what is happening, the ties, our people that are there. Intermarriages are happening right now between Nigerians and Rwandese. A lot. A lot of also Rwandese young people are experimenting going to Nigeria. I see them here, they come every day for visa work, they just want to go and see Nigeria. They've had so much, they love to go to Nigeria. That is what is important. The Nigerian things no. You understand? A lot of them want. And the thing that, to be honest, that is also today in Rwanda, I'll speak since I'm here, that is selling Nigeria to every young person here is our creative industry, our music. to an average Rwandese, 35 and below, he doesn't know anything negative about Nigeria. Well, ask him about, all he knows is whiskey, Davido, Ira Star. That is so he, Burna Boy. Give him that, that is all. Move around Rwanda in every social event, from restaurant, bars, to weddings, to private house parties. 70% or 80% of the music that is played is Nigerian music. What more do you talk about love for people beyond that? Even at official functions of the president, I was at the 31st Genocide Memorial celebration that the president hosted, where he called all the ambassadors and all the high level, everybody in this country, just like our Independence Day celebration. And more than half of the music that was played there was Nigerian. And even everybody was dancing, the first lady, the family, all of us. I was there with Professor Ozonia. I went, they were standing and they said, Nigeria, come, you are dancing, playing your music. So is there love more than that? And I believe also, if you're talking about, I keep saying, I'm glad also that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu even created a whole cabinet ministry with a cabinet ministry of creative economy. Because it's that creativity, it's that young people, what they are bringing. None of us is doing. The image they are bringing, none of us is doing. The content creators, the reach that these people have, selling Nigeria. That is, even if you decide to appoint 4 ambassadors in every country, they cannot sell Nigeria the way these young people are selling it. In this country, remember the Giant of Africa festival that was held, right? It's a Nigerian that is the driving force behind that. And there was a concert that everybody was there in this country. The whole country was shut down for 7 days, a celebration. And it ended with a concert. Out of the 5 artists that came, 4 were Nigerians. Ira Star, Tekno, and Timaya, and Kizani. Good job. This is what we're talking about here. Right? So when you have a lot of those ones, for every major thing that is happening in this country, there's always one Nigerian, either in the fashion industry, art, music, that is invited by the country. And not only they make him the highlight, because that is what will make people buy the ticket. Yemi Alade was here for the Kwitizena, the famous annual naming of gorilla. And they were happy, and she was there, prominent. On Saturday, there was the Silver Gala. It's a major event that's in East Africa, a fashion event. In that same place, you were there with me. Everything about that, Nigerians were there. 2 out of the 4 judges were Nigerian designers, Hugo and another person.
So there's so much going on between the two countries.
There's so much going on. And it's all at the level of people to people. So our role here is to further facilitate, to further create. So I keep saying that, okay, core responsibilities of a mission: strengthening bilateral relations and promoting the interests of Nigeria and Nigerians in this country and protecting their interests. So this is what I'm doing. One, by presence, by being always there, by supporting every Nigerian venture to show that, yes, we identify with the good works that they are doing. Then also, yes, my role is also to attract foreign investment to Nigeria. But given also where we have realized that there is a little bit of capacity issue on the part of Rwandese entering the Nigerian market. To be honest, the Nigerian market is huge. Even the advanced multinationals are finding it difficult to compete. So we don't sit down and fold our arms. We decided as a team that, okay, why don't we facilitate Nigerian business to come and make money here? It's still Nigeria. So but most of what we're doing also is creating partnership businesses between them. We had the real estate developers of Nigeria, about 7 chapters, Rivers, Lagos, Abuja and Co. And then we got the Real Estate Developers Association of Rwanda here, and they came and had 3 days engagement and kind of a summit and exhibition, showing them what they can benefit from there, and also seeing how they can also come into this and capture.
So there's so much going on.
There is.
And Mr. Ambassador, I must thank you.
Thank you so much.
For your time and for the work you're doing. I wish we had all the time, to talk and talk and talk. But in very few sentences, what is the future of Nigeria-Rwandan relationship? In very few sentences.
I see a relationship that it's going to become very strong, because there's this core thing that Nigeria and Rwanda share: a vision of finding African solutions to Africans' problems. That in itself is, I believe, if you ask me, this is what it is. And that's why Rwanda has opened up for African businesses to come. And then Nigerians are enterprising. Nigerian business people, Nigerian businessmen can go anywhere, and Nigerian can go anywhere. And this is what Nigeria is bringing. So with Rwanda's openness and conducive climate, so the only thing you can think about is higher and higher.
Your Excellency, thanks a lot for your time and the insights you've given to us. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians have learned so much from, what you have shared with us today.
Thank you.
But as my parting shot, where is leadership in this whole revolution that is taking place in Rwanda?
Wow. To be honest, it is even the core. In this aspect, you must give credit to His Excellency President Paul Kagame. His vision is what is driving this. Not just vision, his passion for his country, for Africa. It's beyond imagining. He is someone that is there. He drives every process. He stands there. He leads in the front.
Mm-hmm. He walks the talk.
He leads in the front. He believes in his country. He speaks every time passionately. He speaks to the young people. He speaks to them as if, okay, look, we have done what we have for you people to have a better future.
To take it to
and I'm willing to go against anything and anybody for you to do that. And that resonates. It's leadership.
And they never again decision about going back on unity.
No, absolutely no. I say it. People say, I know. You can comfortably stay outside and say something, but you need to come here to know. You need to live here to know that it's not propaganda, it's nothing. It's genuine. The people love their leader. Everyone does that. And rightfully and genuinely so, because they are seeing the impact
of his leadership. Thank you. We leave it there, Your Excellency.
It's the safest city in Africa, I can say.
Yeah.
So What more does a citizen want?
A big lesson for the rest of Africa. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you again. So it's been quite an exciting time talking with Ambassador Ibrahim Zana, the acting Nigerian High Commissioner in Rwanda. I'm Vin Martin Obi Orailo. Thanks for joining us.